Yo, what up guys, it's Phantom. I'm coming to go with a brand new video of this deck. Yeah, I only profile this deck from now on. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I do plan to get more on a video grind. I do want to post and upload more videos for you guys. So, yeah, but for now, I have this deck. I took this deck to locals a couple of times, actually. And, anyways, it is Tag. That's what I'm going to call it. Traptrix Artifact Gradle. The Gradle engine is pretty small, but I do plan to bump it up to a lot more, because I think that engine is very powerful right now. So I do want to talk about matchups a little bit before we start. So this deck actually has a really, really good zoo matchup. So if you're, like, struggling, like, I don't know, if there's a lot of zoo in your area, this deck might be pretty good. Because it has a lot of cards to stop the first strat, as well as playing, like, literally an entire engine to kill, like, all three engines kind of are good against Zodiac. So that's why I feel like this deck's really good against Zodiac. And that's a decent Inferno matchup, as, like, usually, until they get out, like, Deviati and Anuku are big problems. But if you have the Gradles, you can actually, beat Anuku really easily. And Deviati is kind of more of a problem, but usually you can just stop it on summon. So, if you're, like, once again, your locals is more tutored towards Infernoid, even if they, like, lawn mowing, a lot of the times, like, you won't most likely win the game, but you can still win that game. This deck's main problem was with Paleo. Paleo is a really, really rough matchup. It is really hard to beat Paleo. Mainly because every time you activate a trap, they summon one from their grave. And that's really annoying. Also, Tree Toad is definitely a big problem for this deck. So that's kind of the meta-analysis of this deck. We'll get it straight into the profile. Triple Mermello. This card is just really good in the meta right now. Even though people aren't playing it, like, it's actually, like, really solid. I would suggest trying it out in, like, every deck ever. Double Diania. I draw this card way too much. I honestly draw this card more than Mermello. But most of the time it's pretty good, and it does get you a lot of cards. Nep. Still playing Nep, so we can summon it off of Sacred Tree to get Super Plus Happy. So it's pretty good. A card I recently put in here is Retaliating Sea. So I put Retaliating Sea and Maxi. Of course, you can summon Retaliating Sea off of Sacred Tree. And it's also just good to draw. I don't know how much I really like this card, because, like, half the time you'd rather just summon a Mermello than this, and, like, it's not good in every matchup. Like, I will say it is. Infernoids aren't playing Reasoning, but I did stop at a Reasoning against Infernoid, so that's, like, pretty cool. And also, it's actually really cool against Zodiac because you can just summon it. But of course, this deck doesn't. When they barrage, you can just special summon this card. But of course, this deck really doesn't need a better Zodiac matchup, as the matchup's already pretty good. Against Kaijus, actually, if your opponent slumbers you, you can chain this to slumber. It will die, and then you can search Maxi. So it's kind of just an activator. So that's pretty cool. But I don't know how I feel about this card. Like, it's good, but honestly, like, I feel like a lot of the times, like, it just gets outshadowed by, like, cards like Mermello being able to be just much better, and have so much more utility. However, searching Maxi is pretty good, so that is something to take into mind. Bulb. So Bulb is, of course, for the synchro plays. I went a little bit too ham on the synchro plays this week, but I don't know, you'll see that in a bit. I played, for the Artifact Engine, 2 Scythe, a Moral Tech, and a Beagle Tech. I did cut the Artifact Engine down significantly. So I explained this a lot in other profiles, but, like, we only play Beagle Tech because if you brick with any of these three, you can special summon this off Sanctum and pop one of them, and drawing this 1 in every 8 games to unbrick this, like, every other time is, like, really, really good. So that's why I really like Beagle Tech. And plus, this deck doesn't play that many monsters, or forms of monsters, because artifacts aren't exactly monsters until they are special summoned. So Sanctum's more of a monster than these guys are. So Beagle Tech, when you don't draw any monsters, can just put a lot of pressure on the board. And that's why I really like it. So these 4 are really good. And I'm only playing 2 Scythe because, like, you only need 2 to win the game. And I feel like, I wish Moral Tech was at more than 1, because, like, actually Moral Tech is really, like, the fact that this card doesn't target, it makes it so good against Infernoid. They can't chain out, any effect. They can't chain a Summon of Snow to try to set this or something. To, like, avoid the whole popping whatever thing, or, like, when you go for the pop, they just chain Snow to set this, and then you can just choose the Snow. So that's what I really like. Plus, they can't chain Banish, because Infernoid has, like, a really, like, they're chaining chain DD Crow effects are actually, like, really good against this deck. DD Crow is surprisingly good against this deck because it hits Bulb, it hits the targets of Diania, and them just doing it preemptively also really hurts. So having these are like having Moral Tech is like really good against that deck. And then we play only 2 Gradles, but I do want to bump this up. So we're playing 2 Gradles, 2 Impact. I feel like this engine's like actually like terrific. Like I think I am going to cut this for a Zoo Engine inevitably because I get to borrow that of my friend next to it. Plus the Zoo Engine's pretty cheap, and I might just consider picking it up. Because the Zoo Engine already has like all those proactive plays where you can just have a better turn 1. It gives you more normal summons. Like these guys are good, but I feel like I'd rather just side them. And also to explain why we're playing Impact and 2 Impact, 2 Monster. Impact can search itself. So if this is on the board 3 turns, like it doesn't do anything. But like at that point, you can Impact to pop another card, which is actually something you can do. Really cool, really cool. Wait 1 second, I want to adjust the light a little bit. Okay. And then we're playing 1 Eagle because it actually, like, Alligator sucks in the Zoo matchup. They're just going to Drantia pop it before you do anything. Eagle is, like, sub-average because if they have Whiptail, like the Gradles actually, like, kind of suck in that matchup if they have Whiptail, like, at all. That's actually the card I hate about Zoo. Like, I don't actually care about Rat. I care more about Whiptail. Whiptail scares the shit out of me. And, like, these cards, they kind of suck against Zoo. But they're really good against Infernoid. And they're okay against everything else. They're like against Paleo, like they're just beaters, and you can like steal their monsters. Actually, you can't even steal their monsters. Never mind, these suck against Zoo too, or against Paleo. So they're not that well positioned in the meta. They just get rid of big threats, and that's what this deck struggled with. Playing triple Ignition. Ignition is really good. That's all I want to say. And then I'm playing double Instant Fusion. I do want to put Brilliant Fusions in eventually. With the rats coming in, I think I can manage. And Instant Fusion's pretty good. This card is actually like absurd. I don't know why Norden is still legal. Triple Sanctum. Nothing to explain. Triple Notorious Sacred Tree. Still one of the best cards in the deck. Being able to just pop a plant like Glow Up Bulb, like the fact that I can draw Glow Up Bulb and set it and still have a decent hand if I have this in hand is like actually hilarious. So this card's really good. I still want to find a Noturia you can search with this because your opponent is like kind of forced to pop this when it gets on the board, and if it's sent to the graveyard, you gotta add a Noturia monster, which is like super cool. But the problem is, there's no good Noturia monsters that you actually like because this deck needs a good Noturia monster that's either a tuner or stands alone as well as a tuner. So like if we had a Noturia monster that just said when this card is normal summoned, like draw a card, and then it's like a plant, that would be pretty good. But we don't have that. We have one that looks like send a card and then you can shuffle 2 back to add a card, and he's like pretty okay, but like I don't know. Imperial Order, it's good. Like this card is unfair, super unfair. The only thing that stops is Impact, and usually you get your first search anyways. It's kind of awkward with Ignition, but usually if this card is face up on the board, you don't need to Ignition anything. And Instant Fusion is like just a power card, and this is like we only play like 7 spells, and like to be fair, every single time like you activate one of these, like it's either to react to something or because like they're like proactive, and Imperial Order is just like the best reactive card. So I'd rather just play this. Do be wary of this card because you actually can't dish out that much damage, so you might just die to this card like half the time. Playing double Call. You can call like literally everything in your deck. I wanted to play 3, but I couldn't find room for 3, and that kind of sucks. But still, Call's pretty good. I actually was considering cutting these, but like eventually I just kind of opted against it because it's like so good. I'm playing double Mirror Force. This card is like I kind of wish they were Quakings because we could do the fun stuff with Quaking. But there is a lot of Metal Foe in my locals, so like Quaking's kind of bad against them. And Storming is like generally, I just absolutely hate that card. I think that card is terrible. So like I feel like this is like the best one outside of like Drowning, and Drowning is kind of awkward for this deck too because like you actually want to keep your monsters on the field. So I feel like Mirror Force is kind of just the best one for this deck. Wind. I wanted to put a second one in, I couldn't find the room. Plus, I don't know how much I like this card against Zodiac. Like people do say it's good against Zodiac, but I don't know how much I like it against Zodiac. It's actually like pretty good against Infernoid, but like I'd rather play like Traptrix Trapple Nightmare than that. And like though Lost One comes back, Traptrix Trapple Nightmare is searchable and can be brought back by Diania. So that's why like I think this card is almost better. All these, because Nightmare, it actually like in a way, it's like actually insane against the Zodiac combo because as soon as they go for their effect, you just stop it. But the problem with this card is that if they know it's there, then they're not gonna play. They're gonna play around it by like going like Rat, Bow, Drancia, or the whole combo. But they don't activate any effects. They just summon Drancia. So if they know it's there, they're not gonna do anything. So you kind of just like, it kind of sucks, right? So it doesn't do anything. But these always do something, or except for this, it doesn't do much against Zoo. But these two always do something where they always stop something. It's really hard to play around these two. Oh, and fun fact, I was playing this deck, and I kept floodgating the Rat. You shouldn't floodgate the Rat. You should actually floodgate the Wild Bow, because if you floodgate trap hole the Wild Bow, one, it's set, and they can't get their Wild Bow back. So if they only play one, they're actually just like screwed. As far as their combo goes, even though they technically only need 3 for their combo now, but still, like, they just can't get to it. And if you know they're gonna be greedy and go for the bullhorn, you can honestly just stop them there, if you want to get that greedy. But if they know it's there, of course they're not gonna do that. So, but Bottomless is actually like insane against Infernoid, so that's why I'm playing this card. And then Torrential and Solemn. I honestly don't like this card that much, but that's just because my locals is just full of decks that this card sucks against. It's actually like a really good card. Moving on to the extra deck, we play 3 tokens, which we never use because we don't play any cards that generate tokens. For the fusion dudes, we play these 2. They're like Norden's pretty insane. And like usually we just Emerald it back because like that's really good. Naturia Beast, Librarian. I don't know if I explained the Red Librarian logic, but like every time you synchro on this deck, you synchro summon twice. There's few times you don't do that. Sadly, I didn't actually synchro summon that much. I was kind of forced into making Ring Force with the bulb, where like you pop it up the Sacred Tree for a Murmello, pop a card, and then overlay. I was kind of forced into those plays. But either way, these two are still pretty good. And then like kind of like I also played a Spark for Glow Bulb plus a what is it called? Plus an artifact. But the kind of dumb combo I played was Excel Synchron plus Stardust Warrior. So I never made this. But the idea was that usually you'd end with a board like this when you went for your bulb combo, and you'd end with a board like this and draw a card. But instead, if like your opponent like just doesn't play spells, or their board was too advanced for you to even like think about that, you would summon Excel Synchron, draw a card, and then make Stardust Warrior. And then when this card died, you actually like halfway through the tournament, I figured out that this is actually a Warrior level 8 or lower, so you can summon this out of your extra deck. It's terrible, but I thought it would be like fun. It wasn't. And there's like a super hardcore combo where you need Instant Fusion, Diania, Naturia Sacred Tree, and Murmello on the field, or Bulb, and you don't even need the Sacred and a Murmello in the grave. You just need to be able to activate Diania's effect and have a Bulb on the field, and then you can essentially end with like 2 draws and like this, and that's like it would have been pretty funny. But like I think I'm just gonna end up cutting like most of these, like because like this is good, and these 2 are like pretty good, like just because they're like good, but like these. So anyways, as I was saying, I think I just take these out moving forward. Ring Force. There's nothing much to say about those. All pretty standard. And then finally, a single Pallades, because Call of the Haunted, bouncing that is pretty good. So either way, thank you all for watching. I'm running out of space on my phone, so I'm going to try to finish this video quick. Thank you all for watching this extremely cool deck profile. Yeah, I know, right? It's awesome. But thank you all for watching, seriously. And please like, comment, and subscribe for more. Tell your friends, because we need more views. Well, we don't need them, but I'd like more views. But thank you all for watching, and yeah, this is the Phantom Marvel. See you all. Peace, signing out. Bye. I just messed that outro up so bad. I'll see you.